Hello, hello, hello. Looks like we are live. And I just realized that I am missing some jewelry I should be wearing, but that's okay. What is going on, BRI-HIVE? How have you guys been? It has been a long week, and I am happy to be back here. I just been so busy with my law firm, trying to grow it, all of the things. So I don't know if I could keep doing the YouTube twice a week. I would love to keep doing it, but I don't know if it's possible with my current schedule, but that's okay. We are here live again today, and we're going to be talking about all of these celebrities and all of the thieving that seems to be going on in the Hollywood streets or LA streets or just famous people streets, wherever they live, right? So we got two cases to talk about today. Well, two topics really to talk about today. We're not going to go super deep into the case law today because I really don't have that long to be on live stream today. So we are going to more be covering the article style blogs, or we're going to be doing more article style versus the complaints and all of the things that we normally do. So if you had time, and sorry, y'all, I meant to get into the YouTube studio, but for some reason I just left it in my dashboard. So I'm trying to figure that out right now. Okay, so we're going to talk about George Lopez joining in on a Pandora lawsuit for copyright infringement. And we're also going to talk about our good friend Erika Jane, who is allegedly being released from some of these lawsuits that have been brought against her, alleging that she actually knew about the alleged fraud that her husband was doing in taking the client's money. So we're going to look into that a little bit. And actually, the article that I found, Emily D. Baker talked to them. So we're going to look at what Emily D. Baker had to say about the situation, whether she thinks that Erika Jane is liable or not. Well, she honestly doesn't go that deep into her opinion on this article, but we're going to have some fun looking at what Emily D. Baker is so famous. Like, I would love to be her when I grow up. That is the type of YouTuber that I want to be. People is reaching out to her, magazines reaching out to her, documentaries reaching out to her. It's amazing. It's amazing. Love to see it. Love to see it. All right. Let's see who we have here live in the chat. If you are here live or on the replay and you have not hit the thumbs up button yet, go ahead and do it. Let us know that you're here. Let us know that you're watching. And I'm going to take some time to check out the chat. We have Kat saying, hi, Bri. Can't wait to hear what's going on with this case. Yeah, it's a lot going on, We're not going too deep into it today, but we're still going to talk about it. If you guys are watching live, go ahead and drop in the chat where you are watching from. Even if you've done it before, go ahead and drop that in the chat. Kat also says, did you get a chance to watch My Cousin Vinny yet? Absolutely not. Like I said, when I first started the stream, I have been crazy busy. I have a 2-day trial coming up in a family law case, and a whole bunch of other hearings coming up. So it has been pretty hectic over here in the BRI-HIVE law firm. But I am trying to keep up with everything. I'm thinking probably late September, things may slow down, but then again, maybe not, because I'm thinking about cranking it up a little bit, taking on some more clients, getting some more money. You know how it goes. So no, I have not watched My Cousin Vinny yet. Lexi Curran said, hi, Bri. Hello. Welcome to the live stream. We have Marianne Williams, a member of the channel, saying hi, chat. BRI-HIVE, hello. Welcome in. We have Jane Stoddart saying hello, Bri et al. What is up? What's going on, Jane? I feel like every time we cover Erika Jane, you are here, and it just reminds me of her because of the spelling of your name. Hello, Slinky says, BRI-HIVE, what's good? Hi, Bri. Hello. Welcome back to the live stream. We have a member and moderator of our chat helping us out in the moderating. Hopefully we don't get any bots today. I don't think we will. We've been off air for a week. Maybe they found some other channels to harass. Hello Slinky also says from Los Angeles. Yes, love to see the Cali time. And we have Marianne Williams watching from Vegas. Cool stuff. My grandma lives in Vegas, and she recently texted me asking me when I am coming to Vegas. And I really don't know. I have to make my way out there, but it's just busy. It's busy. But that's okay. That's okay. We're getting help over here at the BRI-HIVE law firm. So once all of that is good to go, I'm hoping I can stay a little bit more steady on the law tubes, but we got to pay bills around here. So we got to do the law firm stuff too. All right, let's see what we should jump into today. I feel like I am missing something. I don't know. I know I forgot to put my ring back on after I fixed my hair, but I feel like something on my face, maybe hair, because my hair is pulled back. I have no idea. I have no idea what is missing, but I know for a fact my ring is missing, but I don't know what else. I feel like my wrist is empty. I don't normally wear bracelets or anything like that, but something just feels off to me right now. Maybe it's because the ring is missing, but I have no idea. All right, enough of that. Let's see what we have going on. Marianne Williams says, wait till November when it cools off. As far as going to Las Vegas, that's a good idea. And have they fixed their airport issue? I remember seeing, was that last week or 2 weeks ago, where a bunch of people were stranded in the Las Vegas airport. What was going on with that? I did not have time to look into it as I wanted to, but that looked crazy. Okay, we have Jane saying, watching from Ontario. Welcome from Ontario. Picked up our new Chesapeake Bay Retriever puppies this evening. A little distracted. Ooh, fun. Puppies sound so fun. And sometimes I want an animal, or a pet, or a baby. But babies and pets are not the same. But and sometimes I do want a pet and or a baby. And I just think of how busy I am. I don't know how people work and have a side hustle and take care of a kid and or a pet. I feel like it would distract me a lot. Having a baby would distract me a lot. Having a pet would really distract me a lot. And I just feel like it has to be hard because I feel so tired just working and having this YouTube channel on the side and being in a relationship. I feel like I'm so busy doing that. Let me know how you guys do it. CK says, hi, y'all from Georgia, USA. Welcome to the live stream from Georgia. We got an East Coaster. Does Georgia consider themselves the South or East Coast? Probably the South, huh? Jane says, you are beautiful as always. Well, thank you so much. I got to figure out what to do with this hair, but it's growing on me. I let it run wild when I don't have to get on camera though. I've been looking wild all day. Pretty sure I've been disappointed Alpha all week. Because my hair just be like, welcome home. Shamika J said, hey everyone. Hello, Bri. I hope you're doing well. Yes, we are doing well. Welcome back to the live stream. We have Daz Beat saying hello to all. And we have Marianne Williams saying, didn't hear about that, probably canceled flights. Yeah, it was crazy. It was like a bunch of people on the escalators and a bunch of people just everywhere in the Las Vegas airport. And I was actually thinking about going to Las Vegas that same weekend because it was the weekend of my grandma's birthday. And my mom and I were going to go and surprise her, but then she told us not to come. So much of a surprise. She told us not to come. And now she's asking me when I'm going to come. Well, you told me not to come already. Marianne says, you look cute as always. Well, thank you very much. I try. Lexi Karan says, we're both mainly people identify with the South, but we're also the East Coast. Yeah, because it's the same time, right? That's what I think. But I think a lot more people identify it as the South. Jane says, family support helps with kids and careers. Yeah, I can only imagine. I want my mom to move in when I have a baby so she can be my stay-in nanny, but she wants to be paid. So I don't know about that. We'll see. All right. So let's check out this whole Pandora incident. So I don't know if you guys have heard about it lately, but a bunch of comedians have been suing streaming services like Pandora. What's the other one that they have? It just completely, Spotify, I think, been suing companies like that for basically playing their comedic skits and not paying them for it. So George Lopez is allegedly one of the latest celebrities to join in on this lawsuit against Pandora for basically using his comedy sketch. Would it be called a sketch? performance, right? Using his comedy performance. And there's a bunch of other celebrities that are also in this lawsuit that started it back in February. I have yet to see his actual allegations in the actual complaints or anything like that. I have yet to see him be added to the case, but I found a news article that said he is joining the case. He may have his own individual case. That's why I didn't see his name, but I saw an article. We clicked on it. Like I said, today I didn't have all that much time to get all of the complaints and things like that. And I had to get what I had to get. Okay. So we are covering the article talking about it. So let's go ahead and pop over. I apologize in advance for all the ads that they have on this page. It's literally ridiculous. And as we talk about ads, there's Carnival on the side, and I know why it's sending me this because I booked a Carnival cruise. But yeah, why do cookies track you that ridiculously? Like, stop tracking me, okay? I already booked the cruise. Why are you still advertising? Why are you still advertising to me? Okay, so we have Lewis Black, Andrew Dice Clay, and the estates of George Carlin and Robin Williams, who are seeking compensation from Pandora through court action. Preliminary hearings in the consolidated cases will begin in U.S. District Courts of Los Angeles at the end of this month. George Lopez. I skipped the first sentence. Sorry. George Lopez is the latest comedian to file a lawsuit against music streamer Pandora. Lopez joined Lewis Black, Andrew Dice Clay, and the estates of George Carlin and Robin Williams. They're basically seeking to be paid for them using their stand-up performances. I see Daz Beat says it's stand-up. Yeah, I know it's stand-up, but I didn't know if I should call it a performance or not. But yeah, they're using it and not paying them. It says, like I said, it says that George Lopez joined, but I didn't see his name and I didn't see where his complaint came in. But hey, I'll let it be. They go on to say the comedians claim they have been underpaid or not paid at all by Pandora after their material was streamed thousands of times on the platform. They accuse Pandora of knowingly publishing comedy routines without proper licensing and admitted in regulatory filings that it was a risky move. They admitted that it was a risky move. I hope they don't sue us. Yeah, probably don't call it a risky move, right? To offer their material to its 55 million users. Several comedians filed their lawsuits back in February, while Black filed his in July and Lopez filed his on Tuesday. Yeah, I still have yet to see George Lopez's. So, let me kind of backtrack because I just kind of started going. For those of you who do not know, Pandora is like an online radio, and you can listen to different playlists on there. You can listen apparently to comedy skits that they're allegedly not paying for on there, and you can listen to just a bunch of stuff on there. So it's like a streaming platform for radio or music and comedy skits apparently as well. And then, of course, like it listed, the comedians are suing for basically not being paid. As I stated earlier, there are several of these lawsuits popping up against these different streaming platforms, and Pandora just happens to be one of them that we are covering today. So, and this is why it's going to go on to the next part and says this lawsuit is noteworthy because the comedians aren't just seeking payment for their recorded performance, but for the written material too. The case could end up changing how comedians are paid, even though it is how musicians have been paid for decades. Lopez's lawsuit presents this issue front and center. Let me see if this gives me the article. I don't think it does. It probably doesn't. Where is your complaint? Are you on the same one or no? I'm just trying to see if I can find his actual complaint, but it looks like I cannot. So we'll probably try to find it at a different time. Okay, let it see. Just like with music, there are 2 copyrights involved in recorded performances of the literary copyrighted work. So again, guys, we are talking about copyright. So not trademark protection of your brand, but we are talking about copyright protection of your original works. And in this case, your original works would be the actual material that you write down that you're going to perform, and then also the performance of the material. And that is what they are suing for. Basically trying to get the 2 bangs for their buck. And yeah, what do you guys think so far? Of course, I think it's very reasonable for people to believe that they're going to be paid when you're using their copyrights. I wonder, though, if some of these comedians actually do not own their copyrights, because sometimes when you put on a performance for a certain company, they actually own your copyright, such as Netflix. If they do a special for you, it's a potential that they own a part of your copyright or even your whole copyright. So be very careful if you're in music or any type of performance, art, movies, anything. Be careful not to sign away your copyright rights, even though you're the one performing it. Okay. So they said, just like music, the recording sound is separate from the copyright and the underlying spoken word composition. Anyone wishing to obtain the right to do so must get a license from the respective copyright owner in both of these copyrights and pay the agreed to royalties, which is why they're being sued, because allegedly they did not pay the royalties or they substantially underpaid on the royalties. Lopez listed 37 of his recorded performances that have been streamed thousands of times on Pandora. As of the date of filing, Pandora advertised that Mr. Lopez had 117,000 monthly listeners. And you're not paying him for this, allegedly? Okay. The lawsuit reads, if each listener listened to only one available work per month, that's 1,404,000 broadcasts on interactive streams per year at a minimum. Unfortunately, Mr. Lopez has not received a fraction of a penny for any of these broadcasts or streams. Was he paid at all? I need to find his complaint. Okay. Lopez is seeking an accounting of profits Pandora made from streaming his work and asking for damages, reports TMZ. In the alternative, he is asking for $5.5 million in statutory damages for alleged infringement. Pandora has argued a ruling in the comedian's favor would change industry precedent and denied never paying them. The company claimed it paid millions in royalties to comedians' record labels. And that's what I was getting at earlier. They are saying that they paid the record labels for the comedian. So if someone owned the copyright to whatever show he is suing for, so let's say I don't know who are producers for comedies, but let's still go with Netflix, right? Let's say Netflix said, hey, George Lopez, I'm going to do a special for you, or you're going to do a special for me, and I'm going to pay you for that special. But in return, I own the copyrights to what you wrote, and I also own the copyright for the video recording, and I also own the copyright for the audio recording. So Pandora is basically saying they did pay, but they paid a different party who owned it. So they basically paid their recording labels, which could be someone like Netflix or any other big recording label. Now, if these parties actually owned royalties in whatever part of the recording that they're saying they owned it, let's say they actually owned the composition of the work, so the words that they're saying in there, let's say they owe that, they still want their piece of the money, even though maybe Netflix would be getting a bigger cut of it. So I don't think it's wrong, but I'm wondering if Pandora is going to win on that technicality if someone else owned the actual the copyright instead of the comedians, which is hard for a lot of people to understand that sometimes you're not the owner of the copyright because you sold it in your contract. So I wonder if that's going to be one of the issues here, which I actually have Pandora's response. So we'll see if that's one of their arguments there. However, in Black's lawsuit, he said he is the only copyright owner and has not seen a penny from Pandora. So Black is arguing that no one else owns the rights to his recordings. Pandora did not comment on Lopez's lawsuit and instead directed the rap to its counterclaim, which accused the plaintiffs of wanting a radical change to how payments are calculated. And maybe Pandora thought, oh, I'm paying the record company, so then they should pay you the amount that they owe you. Don't work like that. Don't work like that. Okay. Outside of the courthouse, Lopez's next big project is Lopez versus Lopez, a new NBC sitcom, basically promoting his new TV show. But I'm not gonna read all into that because we're not here to promote his TV show. What do you guys think so far? I'm gonna hop into the comments. Short article, so let me see what you guys think so far. Let's see. I'm just trying to find the last chat that we reviewed. Oh, we have Toots. Welcome to the live stream with a heart. Dasby says Pandora knows better. They should. They're claiming that they do know better. They're paying the record labels and not the comedians directly. Lexi Karan said, I feel like big companies like this should know by now they're not going to get away with not paying artists. They may just get away, just depending on who owned the copyright. Tanya D says, I'm late today. Hey, Bri. Hey, BRI-HIVE. Hello. Welcome back to the live stream. Moderator and member of the channel, Miss Tanya D. Welcome in. Carrie Todd says, hey, guys. Sorry I'm late. It's okay. It's okay. I was actually on time today. Saying hi to Tanya. Dasby says hey to Carrie as well. And Hella Swanky says to Carrie, no such thing as late here. If you made it, you're right on time. Welcome. Exactly. And if you are here live or on the replay, live or replay, I guess are the only two options. Make sure you hit the like button and make sure you are subscribed. If you are not subscribed, I'm going to tell you guys something. I feel like every time I post a live stream, I lose subscribers. Like, dude, are my live streams not good? I don't know. YouTube is hard. YouTube is hard. For those of you that do not have a channel, YouTube is very hard. You feel like you're on the up and up, and then all of a sudden you'll like gain 1 subscriber and then you'll lose 3. It's ridiculous, but that was a little side note. Jane says, I would be surprised if a comedian would give away the copyright to their specific writings, which they should not. But if they sign contracts without lawyers, it happens. It definitely happens. Kind of like the Haley Page situation where she lost the right to use her birth name in connection with selling the products that people know her for, which is bridal wear. She is known for selling like bridal dresses, bridal gowns, things like that. She was on Say Yes to the Dress, and she can't even use her name for that anymore because she was a young person signing a contract with a big company, and now that big company owns her name and the right to sell dresses under her name, and she doesn't get any money for it. It's crazy. It's crazy. Don't sign contracts without an attorney, especially with a big company. Hello, Swanky says, what up to Tanya? Good to see you in the chat today. Yes, always good to see you guys in the chat. Carrie Todd says, it's hard. Just keep up your great content and growth will continue. Yes, definitely agree with that. So I'm trying to do everything to make sure I can do everything all at once before I start having babies. Okay. Hello Spanky says, no, that's not really that uncommon. It's about the quality of your stream. Subscriber numbers fluctuate so much for various reasons, many of them out of our control. Yes, that is absolutely true. And sometimes YouTube was actually unsubscribe people from you and they don't even know that they're unsubscribed. But yeah, definitely understand that. But like I said, it's hard and it's discouraging. You try not to pay attention to the metrics because I have like a great supportive group that shows up for these live streams and talks to me in the chat. So I try not to think about it, but it is crazy. Like I put something up and they're like, lose subscribers. Like, do you want me to post or do you not want me to post? Because I would like to post. But I know it has nothing to do with the people that are showing up for me on a daily, not daily basis, but on our Tuesday, Thursday basis. Definitely always appreciate that. So let's take a peek into what Pandora is arguing. Why are they doing this? And we're not going to read the whole thing because it's 46 pages. And like I said, I don't have a lot of time today. And I'm really sleepy. I am so sleepy. You guys are learning a lot about my personal life today. But yeah, we're going to go through this. I don't want to like butcher a bunch of the words in here because of the state of my sleepiness. So let's check it out. This is Pandora's answer and defenses of defendant Pandora Media LLC to plaintiff's amended consolidated complaint, which just means that a bunch of the plaintiffs band together and they're all the plaintiffs in this one lawsuit again because they have facts common to all the other people. Okay, let's see what is going on here. All of these people are the plaintiffs. A lot of people, right? All right, so let's see what their introduction is. Through this action, plaintiff, the purported owners of the underlying jokes embodied in comedy recordings that have been publicly performed, distributed, or reproduced by a variety of outlets, ask this court to radically transform decades-long industry customs and practice for the licensing of the use of those comedy recordings. The result plaintiffs seek would unravel and disrupt nearly a century of understandings between comedians and those entities that perform, reproduce, or distribute their recordings in an effort to transform retroactively the streaming services, radio and television broadcasters, comedy clubs, and other venues, and the very recording labels that produce and distribute their comedy recordings into serial copyright infringers. Worse, plaintiff, with the assistance of word collection, an entity formed for the sole purpose of coordinating an illegal price-fixing conspiracy, are attempting to secure for themselves monopoly power over these purported literary works, right for the express purpose of imposing supra-competitive licensing fees on all manner of comedy broadcasters and distributors. Unless these efforts are halted in their tracks, consumers, comedians, and all entities that perform, reproduce, or distribute comedy will be harmed. Okay? All right. They go on to say, before turning to its responses to plaintiff's specific allegation, Pandora first must address the relevant history and driving force behind the effort to change a long decades custom of practice to provide the necessary context for understanding. Okay, they go on to the decades-long custom and practice for licensing of comedy routines. I am not going to read. Should we? It's a lot. It's a lot, but I wish I would have read it before so I can know exactly which parts. Let's read the first two paragraphs to see if they give us any good context into this. Okay, so for the decades-long customs, for many decades, comedy routines and other spoken word works of authorship have been publicly performed on the radio, in comedy clubs and other venues, and on television. Similarly, audio-visual recordings of comedy and other spoken word performances have been copied and distributed to the public for many decades by record labels and home video companies. And for at least the last decades, recordings of comedy routines have been streamed by services like Pandora, HBO, YouTube, Spotify, and Netflix. Because a lot of those people are probably on the hook. Okay. But up until now, no comedian has ever licensed separately or collected a separate and additional royalty for the public performance, reproduction, or distribution of the underlying jokes embodied in any of these comedy recordings. There is no disagreement as to this fundamental point. Word Collections, the newly formed cartel, they call them a cartel, serious, that purports to license the literary work of plaintiffs and many others, acknowledges as much of on its own website. Okay. So they're basically saying the comedians want to be paid directly, but the customs is that the streaming services will pay the record label or whoever was contracted with that particular comedian. And then that record label is supposed to pay the comedians. That is what I am getting from that. And so we're not going to go deep into them explaining for 17 pages about this. Let's see. Let's see where they get into their next argument. Okay. They go on to have Pandora's offerings. Pandora has long been and remains best known for the flagship free to the consumer non-interactive internet radio service, but they play ads and that's how they make money. The service offers listeners a radio style or lean back listening experience where Pandora creates for each listener their own playlist. While the listener is not able to select each particular song or artist that they want to hear, the listener is able to provide Pandora with feedback regarding their likes and dislikes and can start a station by selecting a song, artist, or genre of music that they like. In addition, Pandora offers 2 subscription services, also how they make money and what the money that they're asking, the comedians are asking from Pandora. The more popular of the 2 is Pandora Plus, is an ad-free subscription service that, while largely a lean-back offering, does include some semi-interactive features such as song replays and caching of a limited number of stations to enable online listening when users do not have internet access. Like the ad-supported service, Pandora Plus does not provide users with fully interactive features such as the ability to select particular songs or albums on demand. Pandora's other subscription service is Pandora Premium, is a fully on-demand service that allows subscribers to select which recordings they want to listen to and when. Okay, they're going on. They say Pandora is uniquely beneficial to the comedians. Why are they saying this? Let's see. Pandora launched as a music streaming service and up until 2011 did not include any comedy or on its service. But beginning in 2011, Pandora made the business decision to offer comedy and other spoken word content in addition to music. While Pandora has continued to offer comedy and its library of comedy recordings have grown over the years, music still accounts for the mass majority. They go into that. Okay, despite the relatively modest share of all streams the comedy accounts for, Pandora has nevertheless paid substantial royalties for its use of comedy. In any given year, despite being one of many sources of income for comedians, Pandora regularly pays out millions of dollars in royalties for the comedy that it streams. And these comedians are saying that they're not seeing it. So where is the money going, Pandora? Where is the money going? Trying to see if they tell us where the money is going. Okay, so they say they pay the royalties out, but these comedians are saying that they're not getting it. They're not getting the money, so what's going on? They go on to talk about the licensing of the comedy. They say Pandora was clear from the beginning of its use of comedy that it was licensing comedy pursuant to long-standing industry customs and practice. It was securing a license for the comedy recordings, but was not securing a separate license for the underlying literary works or paying any additional royalties above what it was already paying to license the sound recording. Indeed, as the plaintiffs are quick to point out, but are also quick to grossly mischaracterize, Pandora stated as such in its SEC filings, explicitly noting that pursuant to industry-wide customs and practice, it was not securing a separate license or paying a separate license fee for the use of any literary works embodied in the comedy recordings. And I don't think that the comedians are wrong in wanting their share of what's being licensed. If you're still using, like, yes, you're using the sound recording, should you have to then also get the rights to use the words underlying the recording? I think Pandora might be onto something there. I feel like that would be very, very difficult because there are, like, when you stream music or you use music, you pay the main person and then they are supposed to distribute those royalties, which makes sense. Maybe the recording studios or the people that own the right to the recordings are not distributing it. And Pandora could also be in trouble because maybe they are they're not paying people who actually own the recording rights to their performances. Like Black said, I don't remember the first name for the person that they're listing as Black. They said, no, I'm the owner of my copyright. Why have you not paid me? Which will make sense. But if there are recording studios owning this or claiming that they own that, Pandora needs to be confirming, okay, do you guys actually own the copyright or does the copyright belong with the actual comedian? And I think that's where this case is going to separate at. They're going to have to figure out who's really owed the royalties on this case. You can't just pay a recording studio and says this recording studio is going to pay all of you guys, okay? But the recording studio doesn't even own the copyright to that. So why the heck would they pay that? It doesn't make sense. All right. So we are going to go through that. They go on to talk about the emergences of the word collection cartel. How long is this? Because I want to read about the cartel. No, we're not going to read about the cartel. I don't know why they're calling them a cartel. Okay, now they're going into the responses to specific allegations in the complaint. We are not going to go through all that because they're just going to deny. They're going to deny and deny and deny. So that is all we're going to cover for that. But let me go ahead and check out the chats to see what you guys think so far about what you think about the case, because that's really all we're covering today. As it goes forward, we might look into it more. I think that Pandora has the right. I think that they're on the right track of that. They only need to pay the person that owns the copyright to the recording. And then that person needs to disperse out to whoever has a hand into that recording, because it wouldn't make sense if, let's say, allegedly Drake's ghostwriter wrote a song for him. Drake performed it. Let's just say, to make it less complicated, Drake is the actual owner of the recording. Usually, I believe Drake works with a recording studio, but we're going to leave that out of that here right now. Let's say Drake owns the recording. He's sung it. He owns his voice, right? And let's say there's a producer that owns the beat. And so let's say producer gets 25% of the song, songwriter gets 25% of the song, Drake gets 50% of the song. Normally, what Pandora is trying to explain is that normally they will pay Drake. Drake will keep his 50%. He'll give the songwriter 25%, and then he'll give producer 25%, which makes a lot of sense. It will be very difficult for streaming services and movies and all of that thing to go try to find your ghostwriter, go try to find your producer, gotta go find you, all of these people that they need to find in order to pay, when you likely already have when the recording owner already probably has an account set up for you. So as soon as they get funds from you, they send you out an electronic payment or a check. That makes way more sense. I am in agreement with Pandora on this. Not super versed in this particular part of copyright, but I do see where Pandora is coming from. So I would like to see what you guys think. If you think that Pandora should be finding everyone individually. I understand as the comedian, it's a little bit easier to find you because they know what you look like. But if your recording studio already has a system of paying you out royalties, it just makes sense to give 100% of the royalties to the bigger entity, and they pay out the people that they know they need to pay out. That makes more sense to me. Okay, let me see. Where the peeps at? Okay, let's see. Okay, I think we read that one. Hello, Swanky says, what up to Tanya? Carrie Todd said, it is hard. Oh, I think I already read that one too. Okay, let's catch up to where we're actually at. Jane says, we need to get your expertise out to these artists. People need to hire lawyers before they sign things, for sure. Hello, Swanky says, exactly. Try to ignore the metrics as much as possible. Oh, we're talking about YouTube. For right now, just keep pressing forward. You're doing good. Thank you so much. I definitely appreciate everyone that shows up for me on a regular basis, for sure. Tiny D also says you're doing great. Thank you. Grace J says, I found the George Lopez complaint. Where can I DM you? Oh, you can send it on Twitter. Please send it on Twitter. Who am I on there? I think I am Boss Attorney Bri on there. Let me check. It's either Boss Attorney or Boss Attorney Bri. Boss Attorney Bri on Twitter. You can send it there. Okay. Randy, and thank you, Grace, for finding that. Randy Poitras says, I didn't realize Pandora still existed. I used to be a diehard Pandora, not a diehard Pandora fan, but I was not buying Apple Music for the longest. I would just listen to my ads on Pandora and get a variety of songs. So I haven't used it in a very long time, but I'm not hating on Pandora for still being in existence. Sometimes I think I should start listening to Pandora. As I was reading this, I started thinking about listening to Pandora so I can get more new songs quicker. Because I do not update my Apple Music at all. It's very old. Dasby says, I can see Pandora licensing content for groups of artists and creators and lots of production companies or whoever owns the copyright. Right, exactly. Dasby says, might be cheaper than paying each content creator separately. And it's probably a lot easier than doing that because, like I said, your recording studio or whoever owns the recording, they probably already have accounts set up to where it's like, okay, we got paid for streaming your song. Here's your money. Here's your money every month versus Netflix and Pandora going and finding each and every person. I don't think that makes sense. Dasby says there are usually companies that specialize in collecting royalties and dispersing fees to them the right parties. Yes, exactly. Grace says, I think your DMs are off. What? How? I don't even know how to do that. How do you turn DMs off? Is it if I'm not? No, maybe if you're not following me, you can't send me a DM. You could try Instagram. I'm just Boss Attorney on Instagram. That one should go into my requests. I am not a Twitter user. For those of you who do not know, I only got Twitter during like the Johnny Depp trial because Legal Bites told me to get Twitter so that I can get the links that everybody was sending out to join the live streams. But yeah, I am not a Twitterer, whatever you want to call them. So I don't even know where to go to fix that. Maybe in security. I don't know. I am a millennial. I am a probably millennial Gen Z cusp is what people are telling me I am now, but I am not that great with technology. I'm not that good with technology. Okay, Hello Swanky says, LOL, not who am I? These are true things. Who am I on there? I have no idea. Hello Swanky says, yo, that was my first thought when Bri first mentioned Pandora. Pandora still exists, no shade. Yeah, they do exist. I like Pandora. I don't know. I don't listen to it anymore, but I feel like I should so I can get more new music to me. And honestly, not even new music because I listen to old music. I listen to music from like the 90s and the 2000s. I do not like the new stuff. Okay. Okay. Grace said just sent it on Instagram. Let's check out Instagram.com. Let's see. I have a bunch of requests going on because it's overwhelming to read things. For me, it is. Okay, we got Grace here. All right, let's see. Okay. Oh, it's shorter. And there's no case number on it. No wonder we couldn't find it. Oh, there's a case number up here. But okay. They're going to have to be joined in, consolidated in still. I guess that's what's going on here. Okay. So let's see. What are they alleging here? We're not going to go over jurisdiction. We are going to go to the allegations. Not going over venue. Okay, we can go over the preliminary statement. This is George Lopez's complaint that he just filed last Tuesday or this Tuesday, or I don't remember what day is it. Yep. Couple weeks ago, more like. I'm checking the calendar. Okay, last Tuesday. Last Tuesday is when he filed it. It goes on to say in the preliminary statement, just like with music, there are two copyrights involved in the recorded performance of the literary copyright work. A copyright in the sound recording. They might be suing the wrong person. Maybe whoever owns the recording needs to be named as a defendant in this. Maybe. Not sure. Okay. A copyright in the sound recording and a separate copyright for the underlying spoken word composition. Pursuant to the copyright code, copyright owners have the exclusive right to, among other things, reproduce, distribute, license, and publicly perform their works. That also makes it harder too. I think that Pandora is more on the right line because if you have to get the approval from every single person who has a copyright interest in the copyright, a lot of stuff probably would not be streamed. There would not be a lot of contracts, a lot of shows on Netflix and all of the other streaming platforms if you had to go to each and every person that has the right to the copyright. I think, like I said, I'm new to this side of copyright, but I'm pretty sure Pandora is on the right track. Somebody has to have the overall copyright in it, and then they disperse the royalties. That's where I'm leaning. I'm sticking to it at this point. Among other, they have the right to reproduce, distribute, license, and publicly perform their works. Anyone wishing to obtain the right to do so must get a license from the respective copyright owner in both of these copyrights and pay agreed to royalties. The failure to do so constitutes copyright infringement. As discussed below, Pandora not only did not obtain any license for the works, but admitted that it did so in its SEC filing. I gotta get this SEC filing. They are calling them out. And admitted that it would very likely face copyright infringement liability as a result. Maybe they shouldn't have said that because this seems to be what triggered people suing them. But Pandora did what most Goliaths do. It decided it would infringe now to ensure it had very valuable intellectual property on its platform to remain competitive and deal with consequences later. What does Mr. Lopez say as the facts? He says, or it says, Mr. Lopez is undeniably a legend in comedy. Born in Los Angeles, California, Mr. Lopez made a name for himself with the witty and shrewd takes on being Latino in America and Mexican American culture. His comedic delivery is unparalleled, leaving audiences laughing in 2 languages. You can't laugh in different languages. A laugh is a laugh, but whatever, we'll go with it. Mr. Lopez has released several stand-up specials, including all of these ones we're not going to list out. Outside of his stand-up, Mr. Lopez is probably most well known for his primetime show, George Lopez. I used to watch George Lopez. That's what I know him from, not from his comedy. Mr. Lopez has received several honors for his work and contributions to the Latino community, including the 2003 Imagine Vision Award, the 2003 Latino Spirit Award for Excellence in Television, and the National Hispanic Media Coalition Impact Award. Those are some old awards. 2003. Yet, industry giants such as Pandora took and exploited his work solely to make themselves money while knowing it had no license and had not paid and would not be paying royalties to Mr. Lopez. According to Pandora.com, Pandora is the largest broadcast and streaming music provider in the U.S. We are not reading all of that. One would think that entertainment giants like Pandora would honor the legacy of such an amazing talent, but instead it chose to illegally profit from the creative mind and literary comedic works of Mr. Lopez. In fact, Pandora has made 37 of his works available for dissemination to the public via their digital broadcast radio service, knowing full well that it did not possess a valid license to publicly perform the works. In addition to no license, it also made no royalty payments for the works. The works are contained on albums. Plaintiff has duly complied with all required provisions of the copyright laws of the United States applicable to the works, including but not limited to registering copyrights and to said works with the United States Copyright Office. Okay, let's see. Further, it is required by law and fully understood that digital service providers like Pandora must also get a mechanical digital reproduction license from the owner of the underlying composition in order to make the underlying composition of a recording available for reproduction and distribution through the interactive streaming. Okay, well, George Lopez's attorneys are actually alleging that the general practice is different than what Pandora is alleging. Pandora is alleging that they just have to pay the recording studios. And George Lopez attorneys are alleging that they have to get the copyright and the underlying words as well. I don't know because I don't do this for a living. Would love to have an entertainment attorney that works on things like this come in and let us know what the normal practice is, especially in the Hollywood area. This is even true where digital service providers have a license to interactively stream a sound recording. Pandora made all 37 of these works available via Pandora Premium interactive streaming service. Also knowing full well the phrase knowing full well, I feel like is very urban. I don't feel like I've heard it I don't feel like I've seen this written in any type of complaint before. Knowing full well, maybe because my mom used to say it, but with a curse word. Knowing dang well, the replacement word for dang. Knowing dang well, you shouldn't have been doing that. That's the vibes that I'm getting. That's the vibes that I'm getting from that. Oh, yeah. Okay. That it did not possess a valid license to not only publicly perform his works, but also no license to distribute or reproduce the works. Pandora made no royalty payments for the public performance and no royalty payments for the reproduction of the works. The end result is Pandora took the works, gained listeners, subscribers, and market share with full knowledge. It did not have licenses. It made no royalty payments for the works to increase its stock price, helping them reorganize the company with Sirius. Is it Sirius? Yeah, Sirius XM, although two companies remain to this day completely separate corporations. For billions, all while depriving Mr. Lopez of his hard-earned royalties. Okay, a lot of words. Not going to read the whole thing. So, yep, they're suing for copyright. They're basically saying that there is a different culture. I don't know, because like I said, I don't do this for a living. But, hello. Yeah, I don't do the copyright stuff and like making sure that they have the proper licenses and things like that. As far as putting something on a streaming network, I don't work on that side. So I really don't know if that is the common practice in getting that. So if someone knows, if you did Hollywood deals before, let us know. Hello Swanky says, friendly reminder, like, subscribe, and notifications on. Hit the join button from a desktop and any Android device. Become a member of the BRI-HIVE, support the channel, and get your perks. Yes, exactly. If you become a member, you get cool little badges next to your name that you can use, and you also get special emojis that you can use. And I think I can actually add more to them because I have more members now. So drop suggestions on the new emojis or badges that I should add to becoming a member. Okay, Carrie says, thanks to Grace. Yes, thank you, Grace, for getting us this complaint. Hello Swanky says, I mean, I'd like Pandora too, liked with a capital D. I just didn't know they were still kicking, moving, shaking. Good for them for surviving the Spotify, Apple Music market domination. Yes, exactly. I get you. I got you. I'm probably still going to get back on Pandora. Help them out because it seems like they're going through a lot. Grace J says, artists have been complaining about this business model for years. That makes sense because maybe it's the recording artist. I mean, the recording studios or whoever owns the big part of the copyright. Maybe they are not paying people. Maybe they're not. Dasby says, yes, you can. Haha, it's spelled jaja. Ha ha ha. In Spanish. You can laugh in different languages. Grace J says, laughing in Spanish. Hey, hey, hey. Dasby says, I thought it was ha ha ha. Okay, guys. Okay. Laughing in a different language. Good one. Grace J says, is there a different industry practice for comedy versus music? They're saying it's not. I really don't know because I don't do this for a living. So I'm not going to pretend like I know the answer to that. Vanessa says Southern Mamas too. And then Grace J says, happy to help. Yes, thank you. We appreciate it. We can use this probably later on down the line. Okay. So I will save that to my computer and then I probably need a hard drive because I'm always saving all kinds of stuff to this computer. I'm surprised it's still kicking and screaming. Let's save this. All right, that is in the computer, not in a folder, but that's all right. Let's see. Next thing we have is Erika Girardi back at it again, or maybe not back at it again, getting out of lawsuits. We'll go with that. She's losing liability, which is good because she's okay. Let's get into it. All right, for those of you who do not know, Erika Jayne is a Real Housewife. That's where I know her from, but she is also married to a very well-known attorney who is now no longer attorney because he has been disbarred because allegedly he was not paying his clients. He basically ran a law firm with some partners where they helped victims of catastrophic injuries regain, or not regain, but get the money payout from like insurances and the people that have harmed them and caused them to have these horrific injuries. It has been said, it has been alleged, and it has been filed in lawsuits that he was not actually paying the victims when he got the money in. He was basically robbing Peter to pay Paul. He took out too much money, allegedly. And he has various bankruptcy filings, and now people are coming forward and suing his wife, Erika Girardi, also known as Erika Jayne because she has a pop career, suing her for allegedly knowing that her husband was stealing money from clients. And Erika Jayne is sticking to her story. She did not know anything about this. This was no way she can know it. She just got beautiful canary yellow diamond earrings without knowing that her husband was paying for that out of the law firm account, which is possible, and that's her story, and she's sticking to it. So let's see what the article has to say. I don't have the tentative ruling. Like I said, I didn't have a lot of time to prepare for this live stream, so I couldn't find it. I don't know if it's already posted or not, but I couldn't find it fast enough with working in my law firm and getting ready for this YouTube. So we have the article, which our good friend Emily D. Baker is featured in, which is so crazy. Like I said earlier, I would like to be Emily D. Baker when I grow up. Okay, let's see. They go ahead and say that a tentative ruling found that plaintiffs could not prove Erika Girardi was involved in estranged husband Tom Girardi's alleged wrongdoings. And we're calling him estranged. I feel like I'm not saying that right, because she, one, filed for a divorce from him. Two, I believe he's in a conservatorship because as you can see, Erika Jayne, nice young lady. I think she's like 50 or something like that. And her husband is like 80 something. So he's in a conservatorship. They're basically saying that he can't really fend for himself at this point, right? Okay. So we have a tentative court ruling suggests that Erika Girardi had no knowledge of alleged financial crimes by her estranged husband, Tom Girardi. The court in Sheldon et al. V. Girardi et al. And I found that case, but I did not see this tentative ruling. Maybe it's not available on Pacer, but I didn't see it. Maybe it's on the court's website. Concludes that plaintiff suing Erika, she's 53. But they sued Erika for aiding and abetting her husband. An alleged fraud failed to prove that Erika Jayne had knowledge of these crimes. Documents obtained by people through Erika's lawyer state that no evidence exists to support an aiding and abetting claim against Ms. Girardi, which reinforces the propriety of summary judgment. So kick the case out of here because you basically cannot prove that I was responsible for aiding and abetting Tom Girardi. As the ruling is tentative, a final status conference for Erika's judgment is scheduled for Friday. Oh, maybe that's why I haven't found it, because it's only tentative, and the judgment is going to be on Friday. Oh, maybe we'll have to hop on a stream if I have time. Maybe we can update on it. But I don't know if they'll put it in the system that fast. I don't think so. I don't know. I really don't know. People reached out to plaintiff's lawyer for comment on the tentative ruling, but received no response. People, the magazine, which is who we're reading from. The news comes after Erika was named in a handful of lawsuits along her estranged husband for alleged embezzlement. However, there's been no public proof linking Erika directly to the alleged wrongdoings. I believe that she has said that I guess her husband can pay for her trips without using law firm money. It's possible she didn't know. Do you guys think she knew? Go ahead and drop in the comment section if you think she knew. If you're watching on the replay, or if you're watching on live, drop in the chat if you think she knew. If you're watching on replay, drop in the comment section if you think she knew that he was doing this or that she was involved in taking the money for him. Other lawsuits filed against Tom, 82, and Erika, I think they have her age wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought he was like 26 years older than her, but maybe he's only 20 years older than her. Okay, whatever. Not a part of the case, but Erika include an embezzlement allegation from Tom's former Girardi and Keese law firm partner, Robert Keese, and a lawsuit about stolen legal funds, which saw Erika get ordered to return a pair of $750,000 earrings purchased by Tom, among other things. In June, a judge found that the money used to purchase the earrings was supposed to go to Tom's clients, who may have been injured by a demarcated diabetes drug known as Ritalin. Doesn't matter what it's called. The judge also stated he didn't believe Erika knew the earrings were purchased from stolen money. So the judges are on Erika's side. The judge does not think it was purchased that Erika knew. Let's go there. They don't think Erika knew. They thought Tom was just doing this behind his wife's back. Okay. But added she's still in possession of stolen property. Yeah, she received stolen goods, but she didn't know, so I guess she wouldn't be liable. Allegedly, she didn't know. Of the tentative ruling, she still has to return it though, which she did. I believe she did. Of the tentative ruling to dismiss Erika's involvement in the Sheldon case, her lawyer, Evan Borges, told People it could be the first of many exonerations. We expect that other aiding and abetting lawsuits against Erika, which accuse her of participating in some sort of fraud, will fail for some reason. They are contrary to the truth and based on no real evidence, he said. Okay, but just because one court found that she's not liable does not mean that another court will find that she did not know. Other courts may have access to other information and may find that she did know, or she reasonably should have known enough to, maybe she negligence she could fall under, maybe. I'll have to go double check what the claims are, but I believe negligence is part of some of those claims, if I remember correctly. Okay, now we get on to what Emily D. Baker had to say to People. People is reaching out to Emily D. Baker. I would love for People, the magazine, to reach out to me, but I am a little YouTuber, so they are not reaching out to me. Not anytime soon, but we can dream big. Okay. On Wednesday, former LA, here we go. Like, let's make this bigger because we are talking about our good friend Emily D. Baker. Okay. On Wednesday, former LA Deputy District Attorney and legal commentator Emily D. Baker spoke to People and explained what the ruling means for Erika's future lawsuits. What did Emily have to say? She said, until you've got a final ruling, we don't know exactly what the facts are. We know what's been said on social media. We know what's been in the court files. This is the first time we have a ruling stating what the facts are and that there's just not enough to prove that Erika knew. I know people want to hold her accountable for what Tom has done, but legally that's not going to fly in every single one of the cases she's facing. It doesn't mean there won't be other consequences down the road. And I agree with her. Just because they did not find her liable in this case or find that she knew in this case doesn't mean that they won't find that she knew in another case, or in her instance, several other cases that have been filed directly against her for the embezzlement And for maybe, I believe there's some negligence charges. I could be making that up, but maybe I'm not. I don't know. I feel like there's some negligence charges. But aiding and abetting has different elements to prove than embezzlement might have, than negligence might have, than whatever other charges, or not charges, but allegations that have been brought against her. They may be able to prove it in different courts. This, I believe, is the bankruptcy court. Maybe it's just too much going on and they're finding that the law firm was more liable than Erika Girardi could be. I think that is the case that I found earlier. So I might need to look on Pacer to see if they do have the hearing coming up on Friday, tomorrow. Okay. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Okay. That's what Emily had to say. I agree with her. Let me know if you guys agree with her down below. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills stars has maintained that she had no knowledge of any alleged financial wrongdoing by her husband. I'm not going to say exchange, because I don't think I'm saying that right. Estranged? Estranged. Yeah, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Erika filed for divorce. They go on to say that Tom currently lives in a 24-hour care facility and has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's and dementia. So Tom does not know nothing regarding this. That's what he's going to say. I don't know if his diagnosis is allegedly true or allegedly false, but assuming that he really does have these diagnoses, like the doctor said, he has Alzheimer's and dementia. Yeah, unless he specifically remembers about stealing clients' funds, allegedly, they are not getting anything out of him to push this case forward. Erika's still on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So that's what we have regarding that. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think Erika knew? Do we believe that Erika knew anything about this? I'm still not convinced that she did not know. I'm not convinced that she did not know. Let's see. Let's go to Grace. Says, is Lopez alleging willful infringement to threaten punitive damages? Yes, exactly. So in order to get more money, if you did it intentionally, then you get more money. So, and you can also get the punitive damages. You get statutory damages, punitive damages. You can get attorney's fees, all of the things. So most people always allege intentional infringement. That's why they send that cease and desist letter. And if you continue to do it, now you are in the realm of intentional, because we sent you a letter, you didn't stop doing it. We called you, you still didn't stop doing it. So you intentionally infringe if infringement is found. So yes. Grace says, as opposed to negligence. Exactly. You get more money when you say someone did it intentionally. Because guess what? With negligence, your insurance might cover it. Like we know Amber Heard, whose insurance company sued her because she was found to intentionally spread things about Johnny Depp. So the insurance company is saying, no, we're not covering it. If it was negligence, fine. But intentional, no, we're not paying for that because you're in control of what you do intentionally. Okay. Lizzie says, hello from Germany. Hello, welcome to the live stream. It's the middle of the night, but the ER nurse got to work. Ooh, yes, thank you for being an ER nurse over in Germany. I hope it's not too bad. That dress looks stunning on you, by the way. Thank you. Virtual hugs back to you. It's actually a crop top. It's a cute little shirt. And you know what? Actually, I feel like I've been going to the gym, but I haven't been super consistent. But this shirt is not as tight as it has been before. So I feel like I've lost the weight. But thank you so much. P&K Face says, word collection cartel gives me George Caitlin's 7 dirty words. I don't know I'm not familiar with that. Carrie Todd says, I think she knew. I'm right there with you. Silver Gypsy says, yes, I think she knew. Okay, we got some thinking that she knew. Dabsby says, over a long period of time, she would at least some type of information as to where the money was coming from. They were married for like 20 years. And that's the thing, especially if you were married for 20 years. I think that's why more people are leaning towards that she knew. But another argument that Erika Girardi has is that, okay, I married an older rich guy. He had money. why would I think that he was stealing money from his own law firm in order to supply this lifestyle to me? Now, some people are alleging or assuming that the reason why Tom had to start stealing from his law firm is because Erika wanted more, and more. That's all alleged. We don't know if that's true or not. But that also would not shock me if it turned out to be true. Like, okay, maybe he was making a lot of money, but not enough money to supply Erika's lifestyle. I wouldn't be surprised if that came out. Is it true? We don't know. We absolutely do not know. But sometimes those things happen. But she does have a solid argument that, hey, my husband was rich when I met him. Why would I think that he wasn't rich anymore? Was he doing this 20 years ago when she met him? Who knows? Who knows? Lissy says, I think she did not care where the money came from. She was a waitress when they met. Exactly. She didn't care. Allegedly. Would you care? Well, some people, good people probably would care where the money is coming from. Because I definitely would care if my partner's money was coming from like drug dealing or something. I think I would care. And I think Alpha would care if I was stealing money from my clients too. Nobody wants to be sued. Why would you want to be sued? Be ethical, guys. Carrie Todd says, this is crazy and extremely sad situation. His clients continue to suffer. And that's what's even worse about his case. His case is for people that were catastrophically injured by no fault of their own. So they have people that have passed away, family members trying to collect money, and then they're grieving, or someone lost a limb. They're trying to collect money for the injuries that they have suffered. This is not a criminal attorney where their client is accused of murdering 69 people and whatever else. These are people that have been injured and you're taking money from them. That is despicable if it is true. We don't know if it's all the way true yet. I think they're leaning more towards it being true, but you know, we have to keep going with the allegedly until the fact finder finds the facts, okay? Carrie says, to go, Emily D. Baker. Yes, we love to see it. We love to see fellow lawyers thriving on YouTube and just in their careers in general, right? Divinity said, drops the heart and the love emoji. Welcome to the live stream. Nice to see you again. Appreciate the support. Lissy says, strangely, nobody is getting sick tonight. We're listening to you and eating chips. Sick? Who is sick? Oh no, good vibes. Yes, we like good vibes. Silver Gypsy says, when this all came to light, Erika said all her jewelry was gifts from her husband, so they were untouchable by the court. Now, that is not true. We have seen that is not true. If it's stolen, if it's purchased from stolen goods, you have to give it back. Now, in a California marriage, if you get gifts from someone, whether it's your husband or people outside of your family, if you get gifts, those are considered separate property. But you don't get to claim separate property to something that your husband gifted to you that he stole. You cannot do that. So the court proved her wrong. The court proved her wrong. You can't. It's touchable. It's touchable if your husband is stealing it and then passing it off as gifts to you. That's not okay. Nissa Howard says, yes, I would care. Yeah, I think a lot of people would care. I was saying, do you think she would care? But yeah, I think a lot of people would care. But some people won't. Some people won't. Okay, Lissy says there are lawsuits from Bever. Before they met, I think maybe in the end she was questioning what's happening since his illness must have caught up with him. His SILs helped him, or sister-in-law helped him, etc. Yeah, I think at some point, I mean, definitely now she should know, but like during the marriage, I feel like it could have come up. This says, thank you for saying my name right. Oh, well, you are welcome. I didn't know I said it right, but thank you. You're welcome. But yeah, I think that it could have come up during the marriage, and maybe if he was he could have been hiding it. From what we can see on the Real Housewives, they didn't have much interaction. He didn't come to the events like the other husbands and things like that. So, I wouldn't be surprised if I feel like she has an argument that she didn't know because she married a rich man. Maybe he didn't tell her about the lawsuits, all of the things he could have been doing to protect her, right? So for Gypsy says his former mistress gave back everything. Well, allegedly, because it was probably stolen. I don't want any of this. I don't want any of it, all right? All right, guys, that is all I have. I will see what, I'm keeping up with Erika Girardi. If you guys are more interested in more things about Erika Girardi, I believe Law and Lumber is having a live stream. I saw his tweet today. They're going to be talking about Girardi. I think they're talking about Alec Baldwin. I can't remember exactly everything that he tweeted on, but he is going to be covering, I believe, more of Girardi tomorrow. So if you guys are not watching his channel, go ahead and check it out. I'm going to try to pop up over there tomorrow. Depending on how much work I get done throughout the day, if I have some availability, I might jump on that live stream. So I'll tweet about it if I do. Yes, thank you guys for coming. I know I missed Tuesday. I missed you guys on Tuesday. I've just been super busy with my work life. I'm trying to get a better schedule down. I like streaming 2 times a week, but I have this trial coming up and that is going to come first. So we may not stream at all next week, and I apologize in advance if we're not able to stream next week, but we got to win another trial. We have to win another trial. So these attorneys here know not to mess with me. No, I'm just kidding. No, we got to make sure my clients are protected. So I do have to put a lot more time into that. So thank you guys for being super supportive and coming and waiting for me to come back to life this week because we did miss Tuesday. And I will see you on the next live stream. I hope you guys have a great night or morning or whatever time of day it is for you. And I will see you next time. I'll keep you posted on Twitter and on YouTube of if I'm going to stream next week. So see you.